pressure vessel.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Morning, everybody. We have a quorum. I will take a motion to approve the agenda in the minutes.
Second.
A motion is second. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Rich.
Morning.
Morning.
390th, they're planning on having done by tomorrow. They got an intermediate lift yet to finish today, and then they're gonna turn around and start doing surface. Their goal is still to get it done tomorrow. We're still trying to push them on getting some rock shoulders down, brush yet. So they haven't committed to us to a schedule yet, but they gotta start getting some stuff done there, so we're still working on that.
They roll that in when they put it,
Part yet.
they roll that into,
Mhm.
hopefully they do, so you gotta keep it.
Yeah.
Get it sealed down for winter.
Steel drum roller they run on it, or sometimes it's a bigger one with the pneumatic tires in the back to run it, but they do roll it in. Enos, you had sent an email on some 65 Olive, cutting that intersection short and all the rock that ends up in that intersection. Sometime this week we might go blade grade some asphalt in there. I just emailed the DOT to let them know, because I'm not gonna try to fill out some permit to take something that's gonna take up like an hour to do, but it did. I went out there on Friday and there was just some rock. I mean, everybody cuts that corner so tight. Problem is, you give them a paved surface, they're gonna keep cutting it shorter, but I think sooner or later, the way the traffic is now, it's just, we kind of swept everything this week or on Friday, but
They do that on 1-5 and 838 too there.
everybody's.
And you got a nice corner there and they're still cutting it.
Yeah, if you give them a bigger intersection, it's cutting it, but this one is coming off.
This is coming off of viaduct.
Coming off the viaduct, trying to make that turn with a truck, trying to make that downhill turn isn't very easy, and I don't, it's just, I don't know, the DOT probably will put it back on our shoulders to take care of us. We're just gonna do something, maybe for forgiveness later if they didn't like it. It keeps our maintenance down, because there was a lot around that whole intersection. Full of rock. And then, I didn't get a hold of you, but I did get a hold of you too. We bought 3 trucks last week, so pickups. So that should go through.
You picked them up on Friday, right?
Yeah. So pretty decent deal to get some new iron around, get rid of some older stuff. So I think if we've got some old stuff to sell, we'll work on the sealed bids and get a county car out, or the county engineer's car out. Make it worthwhile.
Good.
Well, I got for you.
Anything else for Rich?
Just we'll go into that claim then.
Oh,
Thank you, Jack.
is there a motion to approve the claim on the 3 vehicles? The engineer's department?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
And there's a payroll claim, internal claims.
Make a motion to approve the payroll funds.
Oh, second it.
I have a motion and a second to approve the payroll claim. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries.
No drainage that I know of this week.
Anything else for Rich, guys? Nothing?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh, there's one of the things, those box culvert, they're gonna start first one October 9th. I think they're gonna start a Mallard one.
Who had that, Larson?
Um, Rick
Rognes?
Rognes.
Rognes, okay. I knew it was somebody over that way, I can't remember who it was. Yep. So next Monday then, huh? Good.
They really take maybe 2 weeks for Bob Mallard's to drive.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Rich. WCAT, I guess is Worth County Asset Team, opioid grant request, you guys.
And this up to you guys. So we are the Worth County Asset Team, which has been, does anyone know? To my knowledge, has been around for almost a couple of decades, on and off, pretty strong in their probably early 2000s. Kind of reconvened the last couple of years working on substance use prevention, primarily with youth strategies. And so, this past year we've been doing quite a bit of stuff, just trying to get the awareness back out that the coalition is kind of reforming, reconvening, getting regular meetings and partnerships and partners, at the table. Today we're presenting, a proposal, to utilize opioid settlement funds to continue some of the prevention work that the county's been, the coalition's been working on. So that's what you see in front of you. First page is just kind of statistics to kind of back up what we want, but goals and objectives in the budget are probably the big things you guys are concerned about. So some of the objectives we're proposing today include one, continuing conversations and work with our school districts to continue looking at programming and prevention opportunities to the school. This would usually probably be operated with a partnership with Prairie Ridge. They have prevention educators that go into the schools and provide these curriculums and these programs. They did have a program last year in Central Springs. And we've been working with Northwood this year too to figure out what exactly the program they want to come in and bring in for their students. And then we've also more recently started talks on possibly adding in diversion programs into the school. So what that consists of is if a student is caught with using a substance at school, they break the good conduct policy or whatever, rather than just have the discipline, the diversion program they would enroll in is sort of like it's a course, not sort of like, it is a course that they would go through as part of their offense to help one, them reduce the chance that they would reoccur with that offense. But two, offer a little bit more productive discipline than just a slap or a fee or something like that. A little bit more productive in learning about why what they're doing is not a good choice. Mason City High has been doing a diversion program with good success with Prairie Ridge, and so they're trying to expand it into other schools, and that's something that the administrators at the schools have had an interest in exploring, because they're seeing more and more students getting caught with substances, and how do we deter them from continuing to do that. So that's the student side. We also would like to do a media campaign. Chris with the Northwood Anchor has agreed to do spotlights with our students and then highlighting different assets, positive traits of students and their well-being and their choices. We used to do this, would you say 10, 15 years ago, 10 years ago? So kind of re-resurrecting that and spotlighting the youth to coincide with a public awareness campaign via radio and news and television. With the Talk They Hear campaign, that is a CDC, actually it's SAMHSA, not CDC, a national campaign that has been out for many years, evidence-based. But the premise basically is making sure parents are having communication and talks with their teens and recognizing that that is kind of the foundation of whether students are making good choices or bad choices, of how clear and how much respect is in that relationship between the two. So today's proposal is to do some of those things. Also, continue our coalition awareness. We'd like to build sort of like an exhibit that we can move to different events. We did an event this year at the fair. If any of you are out there, we had a booth for the week and did a free meal for the public, went really well, but we'd like to have something a little bit more resilient and professional looking than just some papers posted up on a poster board. But anyways, so some fun so that we can take those things maybe to athletic games, the fair, different community outreach events to provide that education to the public about the group and then also the message that we're trying to get out. So you can kind of see the Northwood Anchor spotlights run about $960 for the entire school year. if the school is to work with Prairie Ridge on diversion and prevention programming, we're estimating roughly about $1,200 per school. The television ad, this is something that we could do. It's with ICANN. I don't know if any of you know of ICANN Advertising. They're based out of Cedar Falls, but they do have a viewership area in the North Iowa area. They have a sports package available, so you would get a commercial on every Iowa State and UNI football, basketball, wrestling, or any televised cable game that they have. I talked with Sierra Gordo Public Health, and they're going to do some media with their opioid fund, so I talked about sharing the cost of that, and we could split our ads. So this is a shared cost between them and Sierra Gordo if we didn't want to do the entire package, which is closer, I think, to like $4,500. But that would roughly give you probably around 50 slots a month of commercials on the different cable network. An outreach booth, obviously, I said, just for us to build a table and a booth and a display and stuff to take to all these events. So those are kind of the bigger things. You can see a roster of our coalition membership. We're a pretty strong group. We meet monthly, and we have so for almost 2 years now, probably. So very strong group. But anyways, we just thank you for entertaining at the public toilet. I know several of us are out in the halls overflowing. If you want them to come in and talk a little bit about anything in particular.
The one thing that I would add is the diversion program that we're kind of looking at mimicking the schools is not so much just like first offense with a vape pen or edibles or something in school. I think we talked, it was like a $25 fee for the class. You sit down and you come in and teach, like, or somebody, Prairie Ridge or someone comes in and teaches like a 2-hour class. You get caught a second time and break that good conduct policy with vape pens, edibles, alcohol, something like that. Now you pay a $75 fine, and then your parents now have to come in and sit in on a 4-hour class with you to help learn that. And they, from what our research has found, it's actually been quite interesting in listening to some of the Prairie Ridge folks, that after the parents have sat through the class, the parents are actually coming back and asking Prairie Ridge for assistance for themselves, not only to help their children, but to help themselves.
Well, it's interesting. Never would think, you know, everybody's usually these days is, my kid didn't do it, they didn't do it, you know, more worried about that, much for them to go in and actually sit through it and then realize maybe beneficial to themselves, kind of not.
Accountability, yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
There's definitely two spectrums. There's those that the
Yeah.
parents are, that's not my kid. Then there's the other ones that are like, yeah, I gave that device to my kid. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So
Yeah.
there's kind of two ends of this.
Unfortunately, you're right, though, there's a lot more that just, it's not their problem, it's not their kid, it was someone else, and, yeah, but we need to. It's, in this county right now, we have a lot of vape use and not just tobacco, THC. Edibles, and the money is there for good things like that, I just, yeah.
well, it's a good preventive measure because I fit on juvenile detention and we'd be down for drug charges all the time, and the cost down there would be way more than what we'd be looking at here. We could prevent.
Yes, reoccurrence.
One or two kids, I'm gonna go down there.
I know,
Saves them.
That's where always be more proactive to the reactive.
right, and if it's not even all about the money, it's just about trying to save some kids here from going down the wrong path very quickly, and I mean, as you can see, that changes a person's life pretty quickly, as we all see everywhere anymore, it's out there, it's nice to think that maybe it's not happening in our community, but law enforcement will tell you that, yeah, you know, it's out there,
And
and
it's
it's a lot
younger.
of work.
Younger and younger kids, so if you can interact with them at a younger age, I think
Mhm.
it's good for
Yeah,
going in the school. That's just great, so.
Gotta start somewhere.
Absolutely.
yeah, you gotta hit them from all avenues, and I think the part where the parent has to go with them is especially,
That's great.
you know, I mean, thinking about when I was younger, if I got in trouble, the parents got a call too, but it was a lot worse. You know, it's like, yeah, then they have to sit through a 4-hour meeting.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're asking for what, 5,300, is that what you're looking at? Or-
Yeah, that's what we penciled out.
How does that, so Jackie, the opioid funds that are coming in, where are we at for a total right now?
47,000, I think.
Okay, so where does the rest of, I mean, how are you guys spending that, if I can ask?
We're not,
We don't.
we've been looking for.
We've been looking.
We've been asking,
That's why I told Dennis.
we've had conversations, what are you gonna do with this money? This is what we wanna see it used.
Right,
And I've asked Dan numerous, yeah, any idea where we can
Right.
start doing something with this?
so we were being very cut at the 5,300, I mean, there's a lot more we could be doing, we thought there's 6,000 or something to spend. So I mean, to know that that is there.
You wanna come back and spread that?
Just how often, if you just want an annual request,
Right,
or if we
that's-
could come in for more conversations with the schools, if they wanna expand their program, maybe on.
Start with this, and if you guys come up with more to do.
That's, okay, that's what I was gonna say, that.
As long as that opiate money's there.
There's nothing stopping if we make a motion on here, we can make it. We can round it up, I mean.
Yeah,
there's nothing- I mean,
no,
just
that's
to
just,
say
that's just a
commissioners-
request.
So it's something that if we take, say we get 6,000, we go in, we start doing programs at schools, at the fairs,
And it's-
athletic stuff, and all of a sudden it's starting to blow up and we need a little bit more, we can come back and say, hey,
Definitely.
this is what we have, this is what we're doing, this is what we're doing.
Yeah, as long as that money's still there, and this is the only thing that's been approached to us of how to spend it, so.
And I think it's great. One of the best things we could do, but
So,
Thank you, that's
starting
great,
with the youth and, you know.
Yeah.
like
you
they,
know,
what
At
you
some
get,
point, people are lost cause.
I know.
once you get in there and start doing it, you might find other ways, other ideas, other things.
Right, and that's what, you guys too, as well, if you are at other meetings and anybody hears about things that are going on in other communities that are working, come to us, come to the coalition. We want to know that, we
Well, and
want
I've
to-
sent emails to Jesse and Dan when I've seen stuff on like our affiliate's website or anything like
Okay.
that, how other counties are spending. money.
Can you send it to, would you mind just throwing it to me too while you're at it? That's fine, yeah. Mhm.
So,
You wanna go with 5360 for now and have them come back?
I will make a motion for 6,000.
yeah.
All right.
So I would.
There's a motion for $6,000. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion on that? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, motion carries for $6,000.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks like you got a good group of people part of this, so I think everybody's got a little bit of background in it, so that'll be a good thing.
Well, so we were gonna run it through the public health department,
Yeah.
just to keep that maybe easy for your books.
yes.
Yeah, I'll have the account numbers. and-
Yep, that sounds good.
Okay.
Yeah, yep, I talked to Jessie last week and she said, yep, that was fine, however we
Okay.
do it, yeah, it's fine. Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think-
Is Renee out?
Oh, I have one
Oh,
more.
okay.
Not yet.
I missed payroll frame. So you already passed it, I just need a.
You just need signatures.
The whole thing is wrong.
Come on. You somebody out there? But there was a lady out there.
Well, I think she. I
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your time.
don't think she's here yet.
Thanks, yeah.
She said.
Is that Renee?
Ma'am, are you Renee? Are you Renee?
Okay.
Thank you.
It just seemed weird for me to say that.
Come on in.
Are you all done, guys, and ready for more?
Sure.
You've,
Probably the only person here, but I only have one concern.
Go ahead.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Oh, wait a second.
For the public hearing.
You're here for the public.
Yeah, I'm
hearing.
here for the public thing.
Aren't you? Oh,
No, you are.
I got it.
double Renee's.
Okay, I have. Payroll eligibility. Well, we didn't do that yet. That's for Renee. When Renee is here.
Oh,
That's okay.
I have a payroll eligibility on Teresa Mauser.
You're new.
I'll make a motion to
Is
approve.
there a motion to approve it?
Yes.
There's a second. Second. I have a motion with a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries.
It's just for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, Dispatcher.
dispatcher.
Good.
Okay, you got any more of them? Are you out of claims?
Out of that.
So that's done, that's done. No liquor license, I didn't see anything come through on that, so. We'll go down to. And there wasn't any drainage, right? Okay, we'll go down to water system improvement project, have we?
Jason's gonna come next week.
Okay.
He'll be here Monday for a discussion on, we'll leave that and the water and stuff.
And then the small water tower security system, maybe?
Yeah, I'll ask him on, or remind him on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And he'll be here for the water and sewer rate, basically, though.
yeah, so we can question him on all of this. Yeah, next Monday he'll be here.
Melissa, are you on?
I think she's gone.
Yeah,
Should go to some,
I don't know.
yeah,
I think there was something.
something coming up this week, I don't know what it was, she's,
Okay,
this last week she was down in Des Moines meeting with the people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's prospect.
Prospects and some meetings she had to attend and probably this week, so.
okay. EMS continued discussion, anything new there?
Nothing.
We're down our stuff down south. So.
Anybody talk to them about 2080 agreements?
I have no idea.
Okay. Department heads,
Hey, people service. You jump back to that real quick?
Yeah.
Water, wastewater. So our water guy that was hired, he came in and was gonna introduce to us, made it 2 days. Went back to his old job.
Oh,
So,
I heard it.
yeah.
She must have got a better deal too.
Yeah, it's one of those where I think we'll pay you this much to come work for us, we'll match you or pay you a little more, and so I think some of that happened, but anyways. Heath is still here and we'll be up here for a while, they're working on getting somebody else to come up and assist with that, so.
So is he the person to contact?
Heath is, yes.
Okay, so then do you have, number and
Yeah,
stuff for
I
him?
do, cause I just talked to him on Friday, cause I needed some info for septic system and. I asked, so who is their contact? He said it'll be me for now, so.
Okay.
Heath Dragger. And his number is 319-830-5215. And so he'll be in charge out here, yeah, if anybody calls on, he's the sanitarian stuff and he's gonna be taking care of the water and wastewater stuff, so.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, so like you can't do septic permits and stuff yet, or?
He can. You don't. There's no sanitarian training. Basically, if you have knowledge of installation practices, it's all gotta be installed by what Iowa code says.
Correct.
So as long as you know the soils and that kind of stuff and are able to
Yeah.
interpret code to say, this is what you need to do, then you don't technically need, there's no sanitarian class to take. So
Okay.
I think he's taking some inspection classes, which to me, you'd be better off doing like installation type stuff classes or soils classes, but though some of that stuff isn't coming up yet. They wait till usually, a lot of that more is more in the winter time, because then all the guys are done working and have time to attend the classes, so. So yeah, they can get permits. I know Matt was gonna work with him.
Yep.
I'm trying to get a couple.
Yep.
I
think, yeah, because we had the conversation last week and I talked with Jeff about Gal too, wondering if nothing else we could share with her.
And I called Roberto and I
Trying to figure this out.
and Jesse must have too, but I called the guy that I deal with down there. He said, no, they cannot, so.
Okay, that's what I wondered.
And most likely the local guys, you've got to install it, you got to stand behind it, so.
Exactly.
To cheat anything, you're just
Foolish.
yourself and your reputation, so.
As long as these guys can.
It's just a
move forward.
process that not only that, we can keep record of what's there, what's going on.
There's a couple that were almost an emergency situation.
Yeah,
where they needed to be,
And this actually gets to be a busy time of year.
yeah, but,
So yeah, you should have that figured out, because I talked to Matt as
yeah,
well.
he was already stopped by yesterday. He said he talked with Heath. I think they had it worked out with.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
good. All right.
But yeah, so anyways, they'll be looking for somebody else, but for now, he is gonna be the guy, so.
Good.
Okay.
Once we got it covered.
Right.
now we'll go to department heads. Anything, Dan? Anybody else?
Teresa had put in a note here, she's sending out renewal emails, and putting notices on social media for folks to come in and renew their snowmobiles, ATVs, ORVs, et cetera, for the end of December. New renewal cards to be sent out mid-month.
Okay.
And I will be out Wednesday, Thursday down in Des Moines to have the ICIP September Fest thing going on.
Got it. Supervisor weekly report, what'd you have, AJ?
I don't think I had anything. Let me look wrong. What's that on my calendar? I don't. I didn't forget. No, I didn't have anything.
How about you, Mark?
I take it back, yeah, we had, that's what I was doing attention last week, just regular monthly stuff, I guess, so, and yeah, that's all we had.
And I didn't have anything. So. I guess for now, I will recess the regular meeting till 9 AM. Motion to open.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion, a second, open the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. This public hearing is on ordinance number 2023-02. It's an ordinance amending the official Worth County zoning map. Zoning ordinance 126/2009 is amended on ordinance 5/16/22. The Worth County, Iowa zoning ordinance is for all the unincorporated areas of Worth County, Iowa. The legal description of this is parcel E located in part of southeast quarter of the southeast quarter of section 19 in township 100 north of range 21 west of the 5th PM. Worth County, Iowa is described and depicted in a plat of survey filed May 26, 2022 in document number 20220582 as found in the office of the Worth County Recorder. Whereas Christopher and Addie Rugland have applied for rezoning the above referenced parcel in section 19, Heartland Township from ag to light industrial in order to accommodate the building of a seed fertilizer and chemical warehouse. And whereas at certain times it is necessary to amend the Worth County official zoning map and or the text component which makes up the Worth County zoning ordinance. And whereas the administrator of the Planning and Zoning Commission forwarded a recommendation for approval to the Planning and Zoning Commission, held a public hearing on August 29th, 23 in accordance with Iowa code, and has forwarded a letter of recommendation of approval to the Worth County Board of Supervisors for the rezoning of 11.88 gross acres noted herein above. The Planning and Zoning Commission with a unanimous vote recommends the approval of the petition by the Board of Supervisors, the recommendation of applicable DNR permits. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Worth County, Iowa as follows. Section 1, the Worth County shall, and it does hereby approve an amendment to Worth County zoning ordinance for the property be rezoned from ag to light industrial. Section 2, approval with the following conditions, recommendations of applicable DNR permits. And section 3, that this amendment shall be in full force and effect from and after its passage and approval in the manner approved by the law. Is there any public comment or questions on this?
I have a question, if I may. Is
Yep.
this the proper time?
Yep, this is proper time.
I just, I totally support and they know that. But my concern is my land goes all the way around it. So is there any protection for spillage or anything like that? So that if the land becomes contaminated or something should happen in the facility, and I don't even know if that's your position, to protect the farmer that is in the area, or if it's probably Chris's responsibility to be sure that he has a liability, but that's my only question. I was like, what is the format for that?
Well, he has to get DNR permitting. To make sure.
Everything has to be built to their specs and
Okay.
diketing and
Containment structure.
containment structure.
Okay. I could have just called him, but I thought, I'm gonna go because every time I come or when I do come, I learn. And I think it's important to learn, and to know, and to kind of inform yourself as to what's going on and what's happening. So that's why I'm here. So are you with OSHA then? Do you have an OSHA plan? Do you have a plan for Still, do you have something on?
Which
record
is
for
worker
spill?
protection is old. That's protects your workers,
Okay, okay,
but when I get this permit and the building is built, then I work with DNR to acquire their permit and build the containment facilities up to their code
Okay.
to protect against spillage and all that stuff.
okay, okay.
And you've already made an informal, you've had an informal conversation with a firefighter and know that.
About the emergency action
Yep,
plan.
and so you'll be talking to the fire chief and.
Yep.
Mhm.
I didn't know where your responsibility was in this when you provide, and change the zoning. So I thought, I'll just go and I'll learn. It's not your responsibility.
Well, no, I mean, our responsibility to change the zoning. Chris is gonna, I mean, if you really wanna see a structure, you just drive to the east side of town here and check out all the construction going on in that new fertilizer and chemical plant, or. If it was a slow time, they'd probably give you a tour and you can see all the protections that are built in. It's pretty amazing,
I talked to Claire, who's my renter. I mean, I just wanted, I use the income I live on. It's important to me, so.
Well, the DNR protects the ground and the groundwater.
Yep.
So that's permitting, he's gotta dike it, so that if he gets a spill, it doesn't go anymore,
Oh, okay, thank you. Thanks.
so. Any other comments or questions? Thank you, Renee. From anybody? Anybody on Zoom got any comments or questions?
Don't see anything yet.
In that case, I will take a motion to close the public hearing. I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. I will reconvene the regular meeting. And we have resolution 2023-33, a map amendment to the Worth County zoning ordinance by Chris and Addie Rugland. Christopher. Whereas on the matter herein, the Worth County Planning and Zoning Commission held a public hearing on August 29, 2023. And following said hearing, the commission recommended approval of the attached map amendment to the Worth County zoning ordinance. And whereas the Worth County Board of Supervisors held a public hearing and first reading of the proposed map amendment on October 2nd, 2023, consider said amendment and hear comments for and against. And whereas the Worth County Board of Supervisors waived the second and third reading of the proposed map amendment on October 2nd, 2023, to consider said amendments now. Therefore, it be resolved by the Worth County Board of Supervisors. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2023-33 and waive the second and third reading?
So moved.
I'll second.
I got a motion and a second. Any further discussion on that? Roll call vote. Smeeby.
Aye.
Stone.
Aye.
Lowberg. Aye. Resolution is adopted.
And it will be in the newspaper on Wednesday, so then it'll be official.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Now, Renee Harris. Good morning. With domestic violence awareness.
I brought my proclamation here this month. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I am a domestic abuse advocate with Crisis Intervention Service. I cover Floyd, Mitchell, and Worth County. In Worth County, we serviced 24 victims last year. And I provided 440 sessions, 538.25 hours of service. We made 61 referrals to the 24 people. And we gave $26,820.49 of financial assistance to people within Worth County experiencing violence. 412.75 hours of services were provided to these people. This year, 276 sessions, 412.75 hours. 80 referrals, and this year alone, we've done $8,935.39 worth of resources given. So it's my mission to, and educate folks on the crisis with domestic violence. The silence around it, we don't want it to be silent. So that is why I'm here and speaking to the board, asking that we recognize it in Worth County and proclaim this month as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I do have the proclamation. Do you want me to read it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right, so this is a proclamation, whereas home should be a place of warmth, unconditional love, tranquility, and security. For most of us, home and family can indeed be counted among our greatest blessings. Tragically, for many community members, these blessings are tarnished by violence and fear. And whereas domestic violence is more than an occasional family dispute, it is a serious crime that affects people of all races, ethnicities, ages, mental or physical abilities, socioeconomic status, religious backgrounds, and genders. And whereas the crime of domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity due to the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control or abuse. And whereas children who grow up in violent homes are abused and neglected at a higher rate than a national average, and more than 4 million children in the United States are at risk for witnessing domestic violence each year. And whereas domestic violence costs the nation over $5 billion annually in medical expenses, law enforcement and court costs, shelters and foster care, sick leave, absenteeism, and reduced worker productivity. Whereas only a community effort will bring an end to this epidemic of crime and violence, and we as a community must address the problem of domestic violence in our homes and neighborhoods every day of the year. And whereas a coalition of organizations has emerged to directly confront this crisis, law enforcement officials, victim service programs, healthcare providers, faith communities, and other concerned citizens are helping in the effort to end domestic violence. We must recognize the compassion and dedication of these volunteers and professionals and applaud their efforts and increase public understanding of this important social problem. Now, therefore, this is the ending part of it where we, the Board of Supervisors, do hereby proclaim the month of October as VDM and urge all citizens of Worth to observe this month by becoming aware of the tragedy of domestic violence and supporting those who are working toward its end.
I will make a motion to approve the domestic violence awareness proclamation.
I'll support that.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah,
Thanks for what you do.
Doing what you do.
thank you. I appreciate your space.
Statistics were kind of
Shocking.
shocking or eye opening. I guess. I
Yeah.
Didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
1 is do you guys need a copy?
I have.
You already have it.
Yeah.
It's already signed.
I did bring some of my cards. I don't know if you guys want these or not. That was my first time doing that, so thank you for being.
You did very well.
You got a lot of a crowd too.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much.
Yep, thank you for coming in.
Hope your drive home goes quicker.
Yeah.
One of these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. Anything on next week's agenda that needs to get on? Oh, I had a question for you. The pipeline in Fort City, that meeting on October 10th.
Okay.
Have you guys went to that before?
I have been to one pipeline thing quite a while ago.
I gotta look, cause I go to one with the fire department.
So you the same one.
Is it the same one?
Yes.
It's.
Yeah.
It's not bad to attend if you want, if you got time.
Are you all going or?
No, I won't be going, but
I'll let you know.
I will be, just because for the fire department, I need hazmat hours, so we kinda have to go.
In that case, as long as he's at that, he can report back on it.
You're figuring this out, aren't you?
Well,
You live closer to a pipeline than I do.
Yeah.
that's true. My problem is I got a meeting then, but this is at night, and I don't know if
Free meal.
that's true. I'll let you know if I decide.
Gotta be within 24 hours.
Yep, I'm aware of that. Any other thing on there as far as agendas go? It's out of place. I think we've covered everything on the agenda.
One question.
Yep.
On the, worthwhile wind. Have you heard anything from the attorneys or? do you
Just
guys-
that
I mean,
they will-
Should you be reaching out to the attorneys?
Last
or-
week and a half ago, we got an email saying,
They would get in touch with us.
Nothing said other than the trials on the 24th, and they'd be getting in contact with us for preparation or whatever.
24th?
I thought it was the 25th.
20, I'm sorry, I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, one of those dates.
yep,
just wanna make.
so if we
sure.
do end up having a meeting together, we can let you know.
I would think they'd be reaching out here pretty quick, so,
I was gonna say, it'll get here quick.
yes. In that case, I will take a motion to adjourn.
So second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, we are adjourned.